Yo, what's going on, everybody? The Cool Geek here, and I'm back with another video. And today, I am power scaling Naruto for once. This is the first time I've actually done a legit power scale on a Naruto character on this channel. And, so yeah, I'm gonna be power scaling Naruto, like Naruto from Naruto. That's funny to say. But, yeah, actually, I plan to have my next video be Naruto, as in adult Hokage Naruto, possibly from the last, but, I was thinking probably adult, either or, still not too sure. It doesn't really change the outcome all that much, but, whatever. But I was gonna have Naruto versus Android 17, Android 17 being from Cell Saga, not Super, please don't anyone think I think, Android 17 from Dragon Ball Super is at all relative to any Naruto character at all. That's so bad, that would be bad. But, so yeah, that's the next video I plan on uploading. I'm recording this video on a Tuesday, so I was hoping to get the actual versus battle out tomorrow on Wednesday. Who knows, I might end up posting this video tomorrow and waiting till next week to do the versus battle, but hopefully I'll be able to finish this video up and upload it, and then work on the other video, because it's already basically done. I just have to, record the audio and paste the images on it and add the outro. And speaking of which, I have an outro now. That's new. I had my good friend Deranged. He actually made an outro for me, so shout out to him. Link to his channel will be in the iCard, which should be on the top right of your screen right now. So click on that. You should find a link to his channel. So head over to his channel, subscribe really quick, and then come back. Or you can wait till the end after you've seen the iCard. Subscribe to his channel. So, yeah, also don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Again, check out Deranged's channel. Also, check out my Discord, link in the description to both my servers. I have a versus debates Discord. Maybe you think I just winked the actual crap out of Naruto. Maybe you think I lowballed him to death. Let me know in my versus debates Discord, or my regular Discord if you just want to chill out and chat. It's low-key dead in there, but, check it out, help me to keep it alive, because as of now, me and Death are the only one in there. Speaking of Death, I meant to mention in my last video, but I didn't. Death actually, died and reincarnated into Overseer Prefecto. So, yeah, I'll have a link in the iCard to his channel as well, in the top right. Also, massive shout out to Konoha TV Network. The collab was like the video before the last one I put out. So that was Minato versus the Third Raikage. I highly recommend that video. In the iCard, I should have a playlist to all my versus battles, and you go check that out if you want. It's a playlist of all of them. Or you can go straight to the Minato versus the Third Raikage, and then in the iCard of that video, there is a link to Konoha's channel. So yeah, check that out. I'll put a link to Overseer's channel in the description as well. You may or may not have room in the iCard for him, but yeah, without further ado, let's get on to the power scale. So, power scaling Naruto is really convoluted and quite complicated, but I think I've got a pretty solid way of doing such a thing. And basically, I'm going to be scaling him off of other characters. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about how strong and fast he is, and why he's probably a lot faster than you think. Now, Naruto actually has a lot of down players that say, Naruto is fodder, I could kill him with a bullet from my gun, and it's like, no, dude, no. And their main argument is, well, they can be cut by kunai and shuriken and other metal weapons. But, okay, if freaking, I don't know, freaking 2-year-old pressed a knife on you, it probably wouldn't cut you. But if, say, I don't know, someone who actually knows what they're doing tries to cut you, it would actually do something. So keep that in mind. These aren't just like regular, like extremely fodder humans we're talking about cutting ninja in the world of Naruto. They're actually throwing the freaking kunai at sound speeds and stuff. I say sound speed, first thing that comes to mind is because Sasuke was actually dodging sound in the tuning exams, so yeah, keep that in mind. But we're not here to talk about tuning exams. Sasuke, we're here to talk about Naruto from the last, slash when he's an adult. It's really not too much of a difference. Most people downplay adult Naruto and say, got rusty, so he's weaker than when he fought Madara and Kaguya at the end of the war arc. When no, that's not true. He wouldn't be rusty compared to his like teenage kid self, like barely 16 years old. No, he would be rusty compared to when he was fighting, say, Toneri in the last. And yes, that Naruto is much stronger than the one that fought Madara, Kaguya, and Sasuke at the end of Shippuden. And I say that, and a lot of people think, Naruto actually lost his, six-path sage mode, and no, he didn't, first off, and the main argument people have is, when the first few times he used six-path sage mode, his, like, face wasn't all yellow from the Kyuubi transformation like it usually is, and it gets yellow from the Kyuubi transformation now, but you know that little yellow stuff that's around, that like orange stuff that's around Naruto's eyes when he enters regular stage mode? Since, after after Naruto's fight with Sasuke, he's since entered, sage mode while at the same time entering, Kurama Chakra mode, but it wasn't regular stage mode because that orange stuff isn't there. And that is a much better indication than his face being yellow. I actually have now this is headcanon, don't get me wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the whole reason Naruto, his face was not, yellow back in the war arc was because Kishimoto, the form was new, and Kishimoto wanted, you to be able to identify what makes six-path sage mode different than regular sage mode. That is to say that the whole no yellow on the face is just to make it more clear that that there's no pigmentation around Naruto's eyes. Like that little orange stuff isn't there. He wanted you to get a good look at that. And that pigmentation is one of the main signifiers of mastered sage mode, right? So, yeah, no pigmentation. So, yeah, and speaking of that, Naruto has entered quote-unquote stage mode while in Kyuubi Chakra mode numerous times without having that pigmentation, which therefore signifies that it is not regular stage mode, but six-path stage mode. Also, I heard that in one of the new chapters of Naruto, Naruto ended up using like a lava rock and shuriken or something, which is something you can only do in six-path stage mode. So there you go. So now that we've moved on and said, yeah, that Naruto still has six-path stage mode, people tend to say, oh, well, he got rusty, so he's weaker than when he fought, say, Madara, Kaguya, and Sasuke in the last episode of Shippuden. And no, not weaker than that. That doesn't even make sense. He's rusty compared to his prime, and that was not his prime. Like I said before, he ended up still having six-path stage mode after that, so you can't just say, oh, he got like a billion times weaker. Also, after, a lot of people seem to forget, but after Naruto's fight with Sasuke, he has got the other half of the Nine Tails put inside of him as well, and also he ended up training, which equals Naruto in the last. So, and people bring that up in, like, and people, seem to forget that when they debate, like, adult Naruto versus adult Sasuke, like Hokage Naruto. They say, well, Naruto, he got weaker, Then, his fight versus Sasuke while he was, Hokage. Plus, but, what they don't realize is that after Naruto's fight with Sasuke, which he won and wasn't even trying to kill Sasuke, he basically tied. But yeah, Naruto got another half of a Nine Tails stronger than Sasuke, and then he trained. So you can basically say that Naruto, um, from the Final Valley, plus half of Nine Tails, plus training equals Naruto in the last. When Sasuke plus training equals Sasuke in the last. And you can even make the argument that Sasuke, because he's missing one of his arms, he's actually not Naruto, and he had to like train to get back to how he was with both arms, and but that wouldn't be fair because he did end up mastering his Rinnegan abilities better. So yeah, I do like to give Sasuke the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, he ended up getting better, even if not physically stronger. He did get better with his techniques. Like he was shown in the Momoshiki fight to be able to like teleport better, and he also in the fight versus Kaguya, Sasuke was stuck in a dimension, and in Boruto he's swapping Kaguya's dimension no problem. Sorry, not to go off on a tangent, but I thought I should bring that up, and that is pretty important to the discussion. Now, also, when Naruto in the last, he ended up fighting Toneri using KCM with regular stage mode, not 6-path stage mode, which is very important because on the box set, it was stated that Toneri was a similar threat to Kaguya, that being the power, and Naruto at the end of their little skirmish, I guess you could call it, ended up basically one-shotting Toneri when saying, and then Toneri ended up saying, you defeated me with one punch. So he basically pulled a Saitama on freaking Toneri. So, yeah, that's important to keep in mind. And also, versus Kaguya, if you say Toneri equals Kaguya, which should be about right, yeah, it wasn't just Naruto versus Kaguya, it was the Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, who at one point had dual Mangekyo Sharingan, double Kamui, perfect Susanoo with Kamui Shuriken that exploded on contact that ignored durability, as well as Sakura. Listen to Sakura's about to shut up, okay, man. She had the strength of a hundred feelings, and she was pretty OP at the end of the season, okay. Along with Obito right before he died, he did have dual Mangekyo Sharingan, no perfect Susanoo or Kamui Shuriken, but nonetheless, it's Kamui, So, yeah, that's important to keep in mind. So, yeah, all of them, and I'm pretty confident that if you put all of their powers together, like you added them together, not multiplied like some Katara or Metamor Fusion from Dragon Ball or anything, but if you like added all of their power together, they would not have been able to one-shot Kaguya. Like, if you think that, I mean, either you don't know a lot about Naruto, or I don't know, there's something wrong. I don't know. Maybe you're just not a power skiller. I don't know, because Kaguya was completely and utterly thrashing them when she got it all serious. But most of the fight, as you probably know, she wasn't actually trying to murder them. She was just trying to steal her chakra back, because she was very chakra stingy. So yeah, that's important to keep in mind. So yeah, this Naruto, who, keep in mind, when Naruto was fighting Kaguya, he was in KCM2 6-path stage mode. He fought Toneri, which is supposed to be equal to Kaguya, in KCM with regular stage mode, like frog stage mode, like pain level stage. Now yeah, it is a bigger he's stronger while using it in KCM2, yeah, because it does exponentially increase his power. It's not linear. I mean, it is linear. It's not it doesn't add power, it multiplies it. Yeah, that's the right phrase. So yeah, but at the same time, the first time Naruto used base 6-path stage mode, he ended up being stronger, faster, more durable, and all of that than when he was in KCM2 regular stage mode. So yeah, 6-path stage mode is a bigger boost. path stage mode, he would have completely destroyed an area. Like, that one punch probably would have killed him. And then he could have, stacked, KCM2 on top of, said form. So yeah, that's something that I think is important to keep in mind. Because people try and, downplay Naruto and say, but he doesn't have six paths toward everyone. But yes, he does. Now that that's out of the way and we discussed basically how the forms work, let's discuss, we're going to discuss speed first. And the reason we're discussing speed first is because, I want to get the, Naruto is like, barely light speed thing out of the way. Because I even thought that for a while, so I'm not throwing shade if you still think, Naruto is really light speed. But, according to a calculation I did, Naruto's, way above light speed. So, yeah. Now, okay. So, and the calculation is a bit of a lowball. I'll get to why in a minute. But, Naruto's best feat is, dodging the Sage Art Storm Release Light Fang, which is a ninjutsu that is, light speed. Now, the reason it's light speed is because it's Sage Art Storm Release Light Fang, and the way Sage Jutsu work, or Senjutsu, if you don't know, maybe you're new to Naruto or something, that is using natural energy, as in actual light, for the techniques, right? So, this Sage Art Storm Release Light Fang is actual light, like weaponize the light. So it therefore moves at light speed. And if you don't believe that, there's a data book. I usually don't cite the data books, which I still I'm not using it as like a main point. But, because the data books say some pretty shaky things, like Heavy Sasuke is the most powerful member of the Akatsuki. Or, what else did it say? It said, that, I forgot, but there were a few things I'll probably, have on screen, some of the shaky things the data book says, but, this is pretty accurate, pretty accurate representation of the Storm Release Light Fang, but, yeah, that's just my, second, backing up my statement. Now, somebody brought to my attention in my versus debate server that, Naruto running to the other side of the planet in a relatively short amount of time would be about the same, maybe even a better feat. But, that would only be if, say, dodging the Light Fang was, like, a normal speed feat. Like, if he dodged it from a good distance away, or he, like, barely dodged it. But actually, when Naruto dodged the Light Fang, alright, so Madara, what happened, right? Madara spat the beam out from his mouth, like, shot the beam out of his mouth, right? And it went up to Naruto's, Truth-Seeking Orb staff, right? Basically a staff made of Truth-Seeking Orbs, six-path staff, Truth-Seeking Orb staff, whatever you want to call it. But the gist is, it should be made out of the same material as a Truth-Seeking Orb, meaning that Madara should not be able to cut, the staff with it. Also, the data book says you can cut through anything, which is supported by the fact that Truth-Seeking Orbs are supposed to be able to cut through anything, and the Light Fang kinda shoots straight through Naruto's, staff. And when it breaks through his staff, Naruto's like, oh crap, and the light gets, out from the staff, and then Naruto dodges the Light Fang by, like, when he dodges, it looks like his, head and feet are about equal, and if you make the, I did the calculations, and, basically, if you say that, well, and also, Madara tried to sweep Naruto's head, like, after he missed, because Naruto dodged, he, like, moved his face to try and sweep Naruto. It didn't work, though. But basically, the math is that if you estimate Naruto moved his head to almost his waist, which is about 3 feet beneath him, since Naruto moved a quarter circle motion, so Naruto moved his head about 7.065 feet. If you say the light moved 3 inches in that time, this makes Naruto 28.26 times the speed of light. But if you say Naruto only moved his head 4.9 feet by saying Naruto's waist is only 2.5 feet away, this makes Naruto 19.625 times the speed of light. Much more than the, okay, vaguely light speed people have been doing for a while. So, yeah, I think that's a good representation of how fast this Naruto is. Now, let's move on to after he got, now, we know Naruto after that fight, right? He ended up getting another half of the Nine Tails. What does that mean, right? What is the Nine Tails amp, right? Well, we know that Naruto, like, base Naruto, right? He's relative to, base Sasuke and Kakashi. And base Kakashi, when he was younger, the lightning cutter, right? The reason it's called lightning blade, lightning cutter, lightning edge, whatever, depending on the translation, is because Naruto cut a bolt of lightning in half with the Chidori. And in the anime, he did this with no chakra. So if you say, okay, chakra with Kakashi is lightning speed, right? Well, base Naruto, was relative to blind Sasuke, and you say, okay, blind Sasuke should be about the same speed as no chakra Kakashi. This would make Naruto, who's about the same speed, because when Naruto and Sasuke had their little Rasengan Chidori class, they started out about equal distance away from each other and met in the middle. And they said Chidori and Rasengan at about the same time, so that would mean they're about the same speed. Well, why am I mentioning base Naruto and blind Sasuke? Well, that's because if they're lightning speed, the Raikage, right, would be relative actually to light. It was stated somewhere, I'll probably have it on screen, and it doesn't really matter because even if you say the Raikage is light speed, KCM 1 Naruto, right, not KCM 2, KCM 1, like freshly transformed KCM 1 Naruto, blitzes the Raikage. Like, the Raikage came at Naruto with a full speed punch, and he gets like a nose away from Naruto, and like Naruto ends up away like a good few feet away. Like he gets really far away. The math for how far away he ran, if you do some like basic body measurements, would be about light speed either way, because it looks like if you say the Raikage would be about lightning speed, which is extreme low ball, but whatever. I've seen like the basic body calculations that will put Naruto at light speed in his feet either way. So yeah, that Naruto would be relative to light. So, and the thing about the light thing, how it says, it's the speed of light and impossible to dodge, because when you shoot the light thing, when you see the light, it should be too late. Like when the light gets to you, it's too late because it's light, you know. And two, if you shoot it from point blank and you're like 3 inches away from your opponent, right? And they move 3 inches, like say you're light speed and they're light speed, and you shoot it at their nose, right? Dead smack center of their face. From about 3 inches away, right? Your mouth is 3 inches away from their nose, and you shoot the beam. By the time they move their face 3 inches to the left or right or down or whatever, they're still not out of the way. They move just as fast as the light, but unless the radius of your face is less than 3 inches, you're still getting tagged by that light thing, right? So, yeah, that KCM 1 Naruto would be relative to life. Now, why am I bringing up KCM1 Naruto? Well, that's because, when Naruto gets the other half of the Nine Tails, the multiplier for KCM should apply to, 6 Path Sage Mode Naruto. That being that, however fast we calculate the, Sage Mode Naruto from the War Arc, we can stack on a QB multiplier and say, well, that's how much faster he got after the other half of the Nine Tails. And that would be about a 3,000 times multiplier in speed. Now, before you say, did you just say that, Naruto got 3,000 times faster? Well, yes. And the reason I say this is because, like I said, KCM1 would be a other times multiplier on his face. And, that's actually a low ball for how much faster he could have done. Because the other half of the Nine Tails, since he is friends with Kurama, it would be KCM2, not KCM1. So, that's why I think it would be safe to use that number. And KCM2 is, quite a big amp. Like, me and Gold Konoha, he did a video on it. I just did the calculations by myself without making the video, especially after I saw the video. So, yeah, go on his channel and check that out. He should have a video about how many tailed beasts, Yuki should be, and I think he also said KCM1 Naruto and KCM2 Naruto. He had, I think it was his chakra levels video, actually. Yeah, I do believe it was his chakra levels video, so go check that out. But basically, KCM1 Naruto, I believe, was like 3 Biju in strength, while B was like 4. Or no. Naruto was like 3 and B was like 4.5 Biju or something. But after Naruto got KCM2, he was able to completely chokehold and dominate all 5 Biju at once, instead of just 3. So that right there, KCM2 is about a 2 times boost on the KCM1. And if you say, well, he went from 3 Biju to 5, that's not right. That's less than right. Well, he fought 5 Biju. That doesn't mean he couldn't have beaten 6. You know? Because he didn't just, like, barely beat them. He choke held and just, like, deflected their Biju bombs twice. Right? Like, he deflected, like, 5 Biju bombs at once. Then the 5 Biju decided they wanted to make one giant Biju bomb. He deflected that, and then proceeded to choke hold all of them and extract the rods, and then they got sucked back into the Ghetto Mazu. So yeah, I'd say that's about a 2 times boost. So actually, the number would be about a 6,000 times multiplier for KCM2. But we're not gonna go there, right? So, also I think that would actually be, I don't think the multiplier would stay the same. And then also, I was talking to somebody about these multipliers, and I missed, like, I typed power instead of speed multiplier. I said, times base power or something, and they said, well, that's a lot when it comes to multiplying power, and I said, true, but you also have to keep, and I said, true, I'm used to doing, a lot of Dragon Ball calculations, so that's why I put power instead of speed on accident, but I actually meant speed. I don't think this keeps the Dragon Ball multiplier like that. I don't think chakra works exactly the same way, but then I realized, well, it doesn't really work the same way, but there was the fact that, that it was stated that the smaller you condense your chakra, like in the smaller areas, the more potent it is. And then in the last, when Naruto one-shotted Toneri, this is perfect evidence that Naruto, like, condensed what looks like all of his Biju chakra into his arm, which allowed him to one-shot Toneri. So yeah, that's pretty good evidence that it might multiply power to a similar degree. Not exactly the same, but similar. And also, I think I should point out that when Naruto dodged the Raikage's full speed, he immediately compared him to Minato. Although Minato's speed was obviously better, but he said it was the same, even though it wasn't. But whatever. Well, because what Minato did was, Minato, the Raikage was coming at him, and as soon as he got to that same nose distance, Minato flicked a kunai behind the Raikage. So that kunai was moving at like twice the speed of the Raikage. A bare minimum, twice. And then Minato teleported to another marking on a tree, and then teleported to the kunai behind the Raikage's back, and was about to straight up murder the Raikage until Minato came in. But yeah, so that's about Naruto's speed. And after you run the numbers and do the multiplication, so speed, after he got the other half of the Nine Tails, would be about, it would be, 84,780 times the speed of light highballing, and, 84,780 highballing, 58,875 times the speed of light lowballing. Although you could even make the case that that's lowballing, and I did another calculation that roughly said, okay, you want to be ultra lowballing, so I guess you could call the 58,875, instead of saying a lowball, you can call that a midball. If you want to say Naruto, he only moves like 3 feet, right? And then you multiply that by the KCM1 3,000 times multiplier, or whatever, and you get 84,780 times highballing, 58,875 midballing. Now, I came up with two numbers that I showed you earlier, but there is another number if you want to do a low ball, which wouldn't be too far off. They're all about the same amount of space away from each other in terms of speed, and this last number, if you want to go there and be like a really generous low baller, you could say low balling would be about 36,000 times the speed of light, which I mean, it's a bit of a low ball. Personally, I like the 58,875 number the best. But I mean, I guess you can pick your choice of which number you really want to go with. But yeah, and so yeah. Without further ado, let's get on to Naruto's actual strength. Which, oh my gosh, it's so convoluted. It gave me a headache. Man, my headache was so bad, dude. Trust me. Running these numbers, and I work with numbers all the time. That's one of my favorite things to do, right? Just to calculate numbers. But this was a bit much, even for me. But okay, so the way I calculated strength, right, was basically I said I used Kaguya's expansive truth seeking orbit, right? Since KCM2 Sage Mode Naruto was swapping hands with Toneri, I said, okay, maybe they're a relative in strength, right? Kaguya and Naruto are relative-ish, give or take, in strength, right? Well, that would mean Naruto in the last, his strength, if, like, there are different calculations, and all of these are really weird because the thing about the truth-seeking orbs, when Kaguya applied to do, right, she made a truth-seeking orb that was going to expand to be the size of her star plus size dimension. And yes, her dimensions are star plus level because most of her dimensions have one planet, one star, one moon in them. Some of them didn't have moons, but that's fine because they had enough space to hold a moon because one of the moons was created by Naruto and Sasuke. So yeah, keep that in mind. And so I use the numbers that the sun and the planets. Now the reason I did it this way. Hold on, I'll get to what I did exactly. But the reason I did it this way was that most of the planets were pretty habitable to humans and pretty hospitable at that, at least during certain parts of the year. Was the fact that if they were habitable, so I said that, well, it should be a distance between Earth and the Sun around the same, it should be about the same as the planets in Kaguya's dimension. So I used the number 1AU for about the size of the dimension's radius. And I said, well, if you calculate the amount of force, if like the sun exploded, right? If you calculated the explosion of a star, the explosion will reach Mars. And I did the division, and it came out that this speed would actually be, since we're calculating the size of the truth-seeking orb, only not how much, what the damage would be, right? We're only calculating the size, which would be the amount of chakra, which would be the amount of power. Now, 0.653 times star level. So, like, not even star level? Maybe not. I think that might go against Office 10. Well, what if we calculated the radius of the sun and said, well, you can probably fit about 214.314 stars in between the sun and Earth, right? 1AU, right? In that distance. That sounds like a bit much, if you say it would destroy that much. I think over 200 stars is kind of a bit much. Then I thought, okay, well, let's think about this logically. If the truth-seeking orbs cut away anything at star level or lower, that would mean that the truth-seeking orb's base energy would probably be about star level, okay? And then you say, what was going to expand to 1AU? Well, then that math would come out to being 1.653 times star level, which sounds a bit more right. So that's a nice mid-ball. Now we just have to calculate how much stronger Sage of 6 Paths KCM2 Naruto is, more so than KCM2 Stage Mode. That's where things get a little bit more tricky. Now, the way we calculate how much stronger 6 Path Sage Mode Naruto would be stronger than KCM2 Sage Mode is that when Naruto used KCM2 Sage Mode, he was almost able to contend with Jubito, like stabilized Jubito. Not the one you first see that doesn't even know his name, but the actual one that knows what he's doing, right? He's like not even Jubito level. If you wanna wank this Naruto, you can say he was like Jubito level. If you wanna lowball him, you can say he was half Jubito level. But we know he was stronger than half Jubito level because that Naruto was stronger than Sasuke. And when they did their little Susanoo Kyuubi thing, they were able to beat Jubito. So this Naruto would logically be like 75% of Jubito, and then Sasuke would be making up the difference. And then when Naruto used 6 Path Sage Mode with KCM2, he was able to take on one-eyed, one Renegon, God Tree absorbed Otter. Now, the difference in power between that Madara and that Obito would be about the difference between, ironically, unironically, one half of a knife tail. Because, actually, Madara, after he extracted the Jubi from Obito, he had the Ghetto Mazo rip the Nine Tails out of Naruto, and then, freaking, Minato had to give Naruto his half of the Nine Tails. So yeah, that's important to keep in mind. And when you do the math, it would give you that basically, that extra, like, half of the Nine Tails Madara had on top of Obito, and here's how I got to my conclusion, okay, right? So, I said, okay, that half of Kurama would be about 6 Biju, give or take, in strength, right? And that Obito had access to was 7 Biju, along with, like, the Kikaku and Ginkaku, like, tiny portions of the Nine Tails, right? It's, like, not even, like, a tail. It's literally, like, some of the stomach line. And, it had, like, one of, Yuki's horns, right? So, like, one of the 8 tails, like, horns, right? So I didn't even count that, right? So, like, say 7 Biju, right? It had 7 Biju out of, all 9, right? So, if the other half of the Nine Tails would be about, 80% increase, like, plus 80. What if you want to, like, do kind of a highball, or, kind of a highball, you can say that, Madara was, well, it's not even really that much of a highball, because base Madara was physically stronger than base Obito, because Obito was relative to Madara. Like, if they fought, they would have, had a pretty decent chance against one another, but Madara was definitely physically stronger, so I mean, that's a good thing to go with, right? You could say 2 times as strong instead of just, like, plus 80%. You can solidly say, that the 10 tails Madara absorbed, was, like, twice as strong as the one Obito absorbed. And, that would make Madara about twice as strong as Obito. And if you say that, Naruto went from being, like, not even able to contend with Jubito to being able to completely crap on Madara, that would be about a 4-time boost. So, so KCM, to Kyuubi Chakra Mode Naruto is about 4 times stronger than KCM to Sage Mode Naruto. So we can safely say that the Naruto in the last will be about 4 times stronger than that Naruto. So, if we say the expansive Chi Orb was 1.653 times the speed of light, I mean not speed of light, times the star level, and we multiply that by 4, we'd get 6.612 times star level, which makes Naruto a lot stronger than a lot of people think, because a lot of people think Naruto's like bullet level or planetary or maybe star level or like slightly above star level or even weaker than star level, like adult Naruto. So a lot of people say, oh, he can't use the 6-path Sage mode anymore. and they don't realize that he got the other half of the 9 tails either, so they don't calculate for that. And they're like, oh, well, he would be about, those, like, slightly weaker than, against, Kaguya's level, right? Um, so, yeah, that's important to keep in mind. That's a bit stronger than a lot of people give credit for. Now, let's get on to what, Naruto characters are most known for, and that is their hacks, right? Naruto characters are really well known for their hacks. Now, Naruto has, actually less hacks than the average Naruto character, but he still has quite a few that are, worth noting. And one is that his, chakra cloak, avatar of the 9-tailed fox, a giant Kram avatar, so that's cool. It helps to protect it and all that good stuff. He's very proficient. I mean, very proficient at using the multi-shadow clone jutsu. As a kid, he made 2,000 clones, and it's confirmed as an adult he can make 5,000. His different Rasengan variants, most notably, are the Rasen Shuriken, which attacks its opponents on a cellular level, and what a lot of people seem to forget about when talking about Naruto's first battles, and that's the Magnet-style Rasengan, and even less well-known, the Magnet-style Rasen Shuriken. And the reason I bring up the Magnet-style Rasengan is because of its sealing capabilities. It basically can freeze an opponent in their tracks because of the marks on it are remarkably similar to the marks on Shikaku's body. So it's very likely that it uses the same sealing jutsu that Shikaku has access to. And this jutsu is shown in the fourth. Sorry, I get the wars mixed up. I think it's the fourth Shinobi World War, the one with Naruto and Madara. And they, cause like, Gaara's like, oh yeah, Shikaku, let's use that one jutsu, and they use the sealing jutsu, and they're like, yeah, I got Madara, it's my strongest it's the strongest sealing jutsu. And then Madara breaks out blind, no diff, with the Susanoo. But, it's a pretty good sealing jutsu if someone's relative in strength to you, or weaker, or even slightly stronger, or I guess it should be way stronger because I guess Gaara fought Madara before, along with 4 other Kage at his side, and they all got destroyed, and yet Gaara still thought the sealing jutsu would work on Madara, so I don't know, whatever. But yeah, that should at least temporarily be able to take down anyone yet. And the reason I bring up the Magnet-style Rasen Shuriken is it's basically the Magnet-style Rasengan mixed with the Rasen Shuriken. That being that it attacks on a cellular level, plus it can seal you. So it basically seals. Now this wasn't explicitly stated, so I'm expecting people to get mad at me saying, "Oh, you're stating headcanon as fact." I'm not. I'm just saying it should be able to trap each person's cell individually. So if there's an opponent that can say say SpongeBob, that can make little mini clones of themselves by cutting themselves up on purpose, that person won't be able to do that because each individual cell is sealed individually. So yeah, keep that in mind. And also Naruto can fly. One of the abilities that wasn't even explained all that much about 6-pass stage mode is it allows the user to fly. So yeah, 6-pass stage mode Naruto can fly. So yeah. And that's something a lot of people, I guess, they forget or don't know about, is that he can in fact fly. Yeah, Naruto, at least, if you talk about back when he fought Kaguya and Sasuke, because for some reason the Truth Seeking Orbs never regenerated. I don't know why. Maybe Naruto's just too dumb to make them. I don't know. But they don't regenerate apparently. But back in the day, he had truth seeking orbs, which nullified or like they ignored durability. So yeah, that was a thing. Um, and that's all I can think of for Naruto's hacks. So think about my Naruto power scale. Um, tell me if I was like super far off, if I was close. Like, so yeah, let me my Discord, hit me up with my versus Discord if you want to debate me or something. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Special shout out again to the range. Let me know what you think of this outro. Also check out his channel. Link in the archive, like I said. Shout out to Overseer Perfecto. Me and him also are going to try and like redo some of my older videos with this new editing format and my new skills and with our updated knowledge. But yeah, thanks for watching. The Cool Geek out. Bye.